What we were able to determine on May 8th, 2015, David Schwalm had contacted the medical examiner's office in Oswego County, had spoken to an investigator, and had intimated that he was a person that was contemplating suicide. And the investigator with the Oswego County medical examiner's office was able to elicit a first name and a telephone number out of Mr. Schwalm. That investigator contacted the Oswego County Sheriff's Office, who responded to the scene with several uniformed and plainclothes deputies. They established a perimeter around the residence, as well as trying to establish telephonic contact with Mr. Schwalm. They spoke to him on two separate occasions. Both times Mr. Schwalm terminated the telephone call. After the second phone call, Mr. Schwalm exited his residence. A deputy confronted him, told him to drop what was in his hands. He couldn't tell what it was. It turns out later it was a bag of something that wasn't, I don't know what was in it, a shovel as well as a long gun, a loaded shotgun. Mr. Schwalm levied the weapon in the direction of Deputy Walton. Deputy Walton, fearing for his safety as well as the safety of other deputies that were present, fired 5 rounds from his agency-issued long gun, a rifle, and struck Mr. Schwalm 3 times out of those 5 shots fired, and was able to terminate the threat that Mr. Schwalm was posing.
And you said the medical examiner made a finding in this case. What was the finding?
It was justifiable homicide.
Okay. And Mr. Schwalm did not fire his weapon, but he leveled it directly at...
That's correct.
In the direction of the deputy.
That's correct. And our criminal investigation was able to determine it was a loaded shotgun as well.
Okay. All right. And the grand jury found that this was...
Greg Oakes, the Oswego County District Attorney, he was able to make a presentation to the grand jury, and the grand jury delivered a no bill on Deputy Walton's part.
All right. In your investigation, you found that this had happened, something similar to this had happened in 2007.
That's correct. The sheriff's office, prior to arriving at Mr. Schwalm's residence, was able to have someone research their records, and were able to determine in 2007 Mr. Schwalm had a similar incident where he had contacted, I believe, 911 in Oswego County, and the sheriff's department, the sheriff's office, showed up there, and he was loaded with a gun, and we think it may have even been the same gun as it was on May 8th.
But they were able to talk him down that way.
That's correct. He was able to surrender and get him the help that he needed.